People told me that there was nothing to do in Brunei, but when I visited, I found gorgeous mosques, beautiful vibrant rainforests and the most welcoming people. So here is how we spent 3 days in Brunei and what we thought about it.
Good morning from Brunei. It is morning number 1 here and we are in the capital Bandar Seri Begawan and we are just about to head out and see a little bit of the city. So there are a few things to do in the capital, largely a few museums, a few mosques, there's a floating village. So yeah, we're just going to amble around, see what we can find. First up, we need to get some cash, and then I think it's the mosque next, and then we are going to see about this floating village. We're staying in the Radisson Blu Hotel, which is pretty much the only like international brand hotel that you will find in Brunei. We decided to stay here just because we thought it would be a fairly comfortable place. We thought you can't go wrong with the Radisson Blu. It is a little bit musty, not gonna lie. The rooms are a little bit dated, but the beds are very comfortable. Everything is quite well appointed. The bathroom's nice, and they have a breakfast buffet, and all of the staff speak excellent English and are very, very helpful. So generally pretty happy with it. I got given a nice little map for sightseeing, so I've got a few things to see here, largely museums, a city waterfall which is cool, this I want to go to, which is the Kampong Ayer water market, a couple of mosques and another market, and then a map is here, and also information about a shuttle service. I'll put the Google Maps link in the description, but this bank was very good, didn't cost us anything to withdraw, and nice and air conditioned in there, very modern ATMs. Yeah, if you need to get some cash out while you're in Brunei, definitely recommend that one. So that was the Omar Ali Saifuddien Mosque. Really, really pretty from the outside and really interesting inside as well. As a non-Muslim, you can only go sort of just past the entrance, but it is cool to check out their inside architecture and everything. You do have to obviously cover your head if you're a woman, but they do provide gowns there free of charge, and it's free to enter the mosque as well. So we've just come round to the other side, and here there is the replica of a 16th century Brunei ship. Unfortunately, we can't walk all the way down to it at the moment, the gates are shut, but it's absolutely stunning. Let me go a bit closer, show you a better view. So it's just sitting on a body of water just by the mosque. It is very, very warm, so I think we're going to go find some AC in a coffee shop for 5 minutes. A few things that are good to know. So coffee bean and tea leaf, they have these in Malaysia as well, and they do oat milk. So I've got an oat iced latte here, which is very needed. I don't often drink cold coffee, but there's no way I can have a hot one right now. It is roasting outside. And the other thing that's really good to know, I just paid for my coffee in cash, and they gave me in change 2 Singapore dollars. So I double checked with them. I had seen something about it online, but I just thought I'd confirm. So Brunei dollar and a Singapore dollar is 1 to 1, and they use it interchangeably. So actually you can bring Singapore dollars to Brunei and use that as tender here. Hello! This is Kampong Ayer, which means water village in Malay. It is the world's largest floating village. So we've just gotten the water taxi over, and we literally were walking down, a guy in a boat and a water taxi saw us, and then he literally just came to the steps. I'm not gonna lie, some of this wood is not very comfortable to walk on, some of it is a little bit chipped away. It's a little bit unnerving. I'm on a concrete bridge now, which is a bit steadier. But it is very interesting walking around and just seeing all the houses. And it is literally just over the river from the capital. Stumbled upon a small Chinese temple here. The population of Brunei is only about 500,000, and I think it is overwhelmingly Islam, but obviously there are still a few other minorities here, and I'm presuming that that temple is for the Chinese Brunei community. And just over the road is the Kianggeh Market. This is an authentic local market. Looks like they're selling lots of food, but also crafts and kind of Brunei souvenirs and items as well. I am apparently an absolute glutton for punishment, so just dropped the girls back off at the Radisson Blu. They're going to spend some time chilling around the pool, but there are a few things that I really wanted to see that I did want to get in this video, so I'm heading out on my own, which I do always quite like to do a little solo walk around when I go to places, just to feel the vibe. I feel like you feel them a bit better when you're on your own. The only issue I'm having, it is very hot. It's, I mean, probably only about 32 degrees, but it is humid, and obviously you've got to dress quite conservatively here, so I'm wearing a long dress with long sleeves, and I am roasting right now. The mosque that I want to go to now is a 40-minute walk from the Radisson on the way now, and it is a bit longer than I'd like to be walking, but good to get my steps in at least, and hopefully I'll get a bit more of a sense for Brunei along the way. And the main reason I am walking is because taxis are not that easy to find in the Sultanate. Like I said earlier, Brunei has a population of 500,000 people, and pretty much everyone has a car. Obviously it doesn't have a huge tourist scene, so there isn't really much need for taxis. They don't have Grab, which is the taxi app used throughout Southeast Asia. They do have an alternative called Dart, which I have downloaded onto my phone. I haven't tried yet. I was going to try it from the Radisson, but actually if I got a taxi to the mosque it wouldn't be open. If I walk to the mosque it will be open by the time I get there, so I decided I'd just walk, but maybe I'll try it a bit later on. I will say, other than Singapore, Bandar Seri Begawan does seem to be the most pedestrian friendly city I've been to in Southeast Asia. There are pavements in most places, there are pedestrian crossings quite a lot, and the traffic is nothing like Kuala Lumpur. Half a sweaty hour later and the mosque is just over there, so I've just got to work out how to get across this road, and then somehow I'll find it. Interestingly, our taxi driver said last night that there wasn't any public transport in Brunei, but I have seen some bus stops, so maybe there is, but it doesn't seem to be used very much. Oh, this mosque is beautiful. Oh my goodness. This mosque is incredible. It's so ornate. There's like a huge, like, kind of winding staircase over there. I think this is the main entrance that I'm walking towards now. Shoe deposit walkway. Ah, okay, so you're meant to leave your shoes here. I'm not 100% if I can go in still, but it did say it opens at 2, which I think meant, wow, I think meant tourists at 2. So I hopefully can, but let's go and have a look. This is amazing. Such beautiful architecture. This must be the prettiest mosque I've ever been in, and I've been in quite a few all over the Muslim world. Right, let's go in. I have travelled to maybe 20 Muslim majority countries, and I have never seen a mosque that beautiful. Honestly, this architecture is incredible. It reminds me a bit of the madrasas in Uzbekistan. I actually think this is better. I think this is more beautiful, but Uzbekistan is becoming more famous for having its incredible madrasas and mosques, but honestly, this is just breathtaking. Oh, that was incredible. Just amazing. Honestly, if that was in a more touristy country, that would be heaving with tourists all the time. But kind of the fact it wasn't almost made it that little bit special. The people working there was so lovely as well. One of them saw my camera and said, you a vlogger? And I was like, yeah, I'm making a video about Brunei. And he was like, oh, amazing. Not many people visit Brunei, so that's good to see. And then he followed me on YouTube. So that is lovely. Definitely worth the sweaty 40-minute walk, and still worth the sweaty 40-minute walk back, even though I may melt. Just on the walk back now. So you've got like one of the main roads of Brunei here, and then behind is, I mean, not rainforest, but it is pretty foresty. I heard a rustling and I saw an animal moving, like a legged animal. And I'm not sure what it was. But I think I'm just about to cross over the river now. So I think if you do the river trip that you can do, which I might do on Friday morning, you go along here and you can look out for proboscis monkeys and macais. And yeah, this is like right in the city centre. Oh, this shade is the one. I was just walking in the baking hot sun for too long. Now I'm back in it. It's too hot to be walking around Brunei, really.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I can see that.
So we've come to the Gadong night market where we are buying food off stalls. So far we've tried some tofu veg bite, potato spring rolls and some green bean fritters. I love the tofu vegetable bites. Going back for more. Oh, good. So there wasn't that much veggie, but we found a man who was live cooking the noodles. So I asked him for noodles with no meat, no chicken, no fish, no egg. And he was a bit confused, but he was very happy to do so. They are honestly so good. Try a bit. I don't know exactly what the flavours are, but they are delicious.
There's probably going to be a few bones, but
Fish and rice.
fish and rice.
Good morning. So today is an exciting day. We are going on an all-day trip to Tembourang, which is another region of Brunei, but it's also where the Tembourang National Park is. So the geography of Brunei is quite interesting. Brunei is actually situated in an exclave in the rest of Malaysian Borneo up at the map, so it makes a bit more sense. And there's actually the world's third longest bridge connecting the main bit of Brunei to Tembourang. So we're going to go over that today, and we're going to go down into the rainforest. There's a national park there. Most of the region is national park. See some more of the Bornean rainforest, which will be really cool. So this is the third longest bridge in the world. It is called the Sultan Haji Omar Ali Saifuddien Bridge, which is the same name as the first mosque that we went to yesterday. So let's see how long it takes us to go over it.
White tea is the grated coconut. And then the other one, so the balls, I call it sesame ball. And then the filling is a red bean inside. And then over here is banana fritters.
Yeah, got some sweets here. This one was palm sugar and some sort of syrup. This one is grated coconut with sort of a gel made with coconut inside. Fried bananas, which is always a popular favourite, and sesame balls with red bean paste inside. I quite like the filling, but the outer is quite chewy. This one's quite good.
Okay.
So the company that we booked this tour with, Freem, they have a rainforest lodge, which we are in now, and that's where kind of the tour operates from. So we're just waiting for a few more people, and then we're gonna take a boat up the river and into the heart of the jungle in the actual national park. Go to a waterfall. There's like a canopy walk with a 360-degree observation tower, and then there is the option to go tubing. I am absolutely terrified of crocodiles. They are my least favourite animal, so I decided not to tube or do any like kind of water sports, but there is the option for zip lining back here, which, oh, I think someone's might be doing now. Oh, there we go. So yeah, there's the option to do that, which we might do, or I might just watch everyone else. I'm not so much of an adrenaline junkie these days. We've arrived in the Ulu Tembourang National Park, and now we have 1,000 steps to climb up, but we should get a pretty good view from the top, so I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Macam umbut. Palm tree, we call it. Yeah. We only take the soft part.
So we're 10% of the way up, and it's already feeling pretty hard. We're walking across a suspension bridge over the river.
Bulging tree with a black spot. Alright, that one is the mata kuno tree actually. And then actually it has its own fruit, but now it's not the fruit season yet. Tower, and then to the last one. The tower is getting higher and higher to the last one.
I went all the way to the top, the very, very top, and now we're walking across the canopy. This is a little bit hair-raising, but it's good fun. Made it to the top and made it across the bridge. Now it's just to go down, which is arguably the most difficult part, but this is really cool. It is so cool to be above the trees. Oh my god, it just keeps going up. Oh, well done. We just climbed up a casual 35 or so ladders to get right to the top of these towers. Climb up 21 ladders, you get to the top, then you cross the bridge, then you have to climb up more, and you basically have to keep doing that until you get to the tallest tower, which is at about 68 metres. Pretty tall, pretty tall. But I'm feeling good for having done it and making my way back down now. So from the top, you're like on top of the forest basically, so you can see all the tree canopy. Like, it's literally called a canopy walk, so it is pretty awesome. If a little bit hair-raising. So next up is a waterfall. This is only just off the river and it's not a particularly high waterfall, but it's still cool to check out. I've not gone in, didn't really fancy it, but very health and safety conscious here. We are having to wear helmets and life jackets even if we're not going in. And I think the girls are just in now. I think they've got some sort of like fish pedicure thing going on. Like, I think there's fish in there that nibble their feet. Wet anyway. This has been such a day of extremes. We've gone from ridiculously hot, so sweaty, to absolutely drenched with rain. We've just got back to the lodge now, so we are thankfully undercover. I think we got just as wet in the boat as we did tubing, but we were presented with really nice, freshly laundered towels when we got back, so that was an absolute treat. And now it's lunchtime. There's all my vegetarian options. We've got some tempeh, some mushrooms and tofu, some greens, and cucumber, I think that is. It is our last morning in Brunei and I've gotten up quite early to take a walk to this city waterfall. It's the Tasik Lama waterfall, and the waterfall itself is literally just a 20-minute walk from the Radisson Blu. This is one of the amazing things about Bandar Seri Begawan. It is such a green city. I read a statistic when we were in the jungle yesterday saying that over 70% of Brunei is rainforest, and even the capital itself, like, it is pretty much just a few streets and buildings within the jungle. It really hasn't taken the jungle over, which is really nice to see. So a couple of things to point out. One is that, as I mentioned before, Brunei is so green, and I noticed this in the rainforest yesterday, especially comparing it to Malaysian Borneo. The jungle and parks in here are so clean. Like, aside from Singapore, this is definitely the cleanest place I've been to in Southeast Asia. The English language here is incredible. Like, obviously I never ever expect people to speak English. I mean, their country, I should be making an effort to speak words of their language, but it seems most people here can speak very good to fluent level English, to the extent that, like, you know, you can have a full conversation with most people. And the other language is Bahasa, which I do know a few words of, and I do always try and say thank you, hello. The little bits I do know, I do try and speak a bit of Bahasa, but usually someone will just speak English back to me, which is fair enough. My Bahasa is not very good. And my taxi driver was telling me that is because they actually do have the English curriculum here, and the schools are in English, and most of the workplaces are in English. And I did actually notice in the hotel, two of the hotel staff talking to each other in English, so it is very much ingrained in the population, but that does make it a very easy place to travel around. Also, I just wanted to reiterate how safe I feel here. I've walked around on my own quite a bit now. I've had zero hassle. Everyone, you know, people have said hello to me, but been in a very respectful way. As someone who's travelled as a solo female a lot, you can tell when people are saying hello to you because they're being friendly and nice, and when people are saying hello to you and they're being creepy. And absolutely zero people in Brunei have been creepy. So I would definitely say it's a safe destination for solo female travellers, and you know, the fact that you can speak English to nearly everyone makes it even more accessible, I guess. One more thing that is worth mentioning about Brunei, which I'm not sure if I've mentioned so far in this video, is that you can't buy alcohol here. Now, no, I say you can't buy alcohol here. If you really do want to drink while you're in Brunei, you can bring alcohol into the country. You have to declare it at customs. There is a limit. I think it's something like 2 bottles of wine and 12 cans of beer per person or something like that. I do believe that liquor and stronger alcohol has more restrictions, so definitely check those. But you can bring the alcohol in, declare it at customs, and then you can drink it in your hotel room or wherever you're staying. Obviously, you can't drink when you're out and about in public spaces, and there is nowhere to buy a drink, so there are no bars. In that essence, it is a dry country. For us, that didn't bother us at all, because, you know, it's 3 days, or you go without a drink for 3 days. You're here for a longer time, or if you do really want a drink, that is the only way to do it in Brunei. This water village is so big. It has a primary school, and I believe it has a secondary school as well. So if you hop in a boat at the Brunei waterfront, where the river is, and go about 15-20 minutes, you end up in, not jungle, but it's pretty wild out here. And there is the chance of seeing proboscis monkeys, so this is what we're hoping to see now. I think I've completed Brunei. No, I'm joking. There are other places to see outside the capital and outside of Tembourang. I think I've pretty much seen everything that there is to see in the capital, aside from another couple of museums. Back on dry land, my boat captain Philadelphus, he was a really nice guy. He showed me all around the floating village, some other sites in the city, and then we went up to the mangroves to see the proboscis monkeys, saw a few, like 5 or 6 proboscis monkeys, and we saw a very large crocodile as well, which I am very scared of crocodiles, so I did freak out a little bit of that. Now, I'm gonna go find my friends. They might be in a cafe, or they might be back at the hotel, so I'm gonna go look for them now. Yeah, get ready to leave, sadly. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed a look into a country where not that many tourists go. Brunei honestly did surprise me. Let me know in the comments if you've ever visited or if you plan to.